A new book is giving us some insight into secret society life in St. Louis. We're talking about The Veiled Prophet, and this book is officially out tomorrow. But we are talking with the author, Devin Thomas O'Shea, today. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me on the television.
Yes, we love it, and we're so excited about this. How does it feel to be just less than 24 hours out from your pub date?
It's great. It's fantastic. It's a culmination of like 9 years worth of research and writing. I've been on the beat for a very long time.
For a very long time.
Yeah.
And clearly because it is a thick book.
It's a thick boy.
It's a light read for some folks. but I was trying to read it before, we had this interview, and I was like, I don't think I can get to it in time. So I'm going to have a lot of reading to do after this.
Yeah, to be fair, the last 50 to 60 pages are all, notes and my works cited. So it's only like 400 pages or so. It's breezy.
Yeah, breezy.
Take it to the beach, do it in an afternoon.
That, some people do, so for real. So why did you want to write this book after so many years of research?
Yeah, the Veiled Prophet Society is like a legitimately interesting, specifically St. Louis thing. And, as I say at a point in the book, I think it's Neil Prim, who is a historian of St. Louis, said that the big three of St. Louis history are Charles Lindbergh, the World's Fair, and the Veiled Prophet Society.
Wow.
And so I wanted to, feels like the time is right to talk about secret clubs and how they work and what they do to the public and what they do for membership and stuff like that.
And I was just thinking, how many people have almost gotten canceled over it, over the years, especially like Ellie Kemper. I mean, that, she was such a, that was a big deal when people found out that she was a part of the ball. I think a lot of people think about the Veiled Prophet ball.
Absolutely, yeah. That's like, the access point is Ellie Kemper, and my stance on that has always been that, the debutantes, when they're getting ready to do the ball, are teenagers. They're rich teenagers from Villa de Chun and stuff like that. But who's guilty in that situation is more lies with the parents for perpetuating this thing that the African American community in St. Louis has been saying for decades.
Sure.
This is a problem. It needs to go away, and it persists.
Well, yeah, I always felt like, without having too much of an opinion here, but you're a kid, you know what I mean? She was a teenager, so.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
She came out with a big statement on it.
Yeah.
So I know people think about the ball, but I want to talk about it being more than just an event, right?
Sure.
We talk about the society itself. Can we dig into that a little bit?
Yeah, it was also a big parade. It started mostly as a parade, especially in the 1878 beginnings. So there's sort of two components, the parade and the ball. And the parade was meant to, celebrate the crushing of a general strike that happened in 1877. It was a end zone dance for the city elites. They made the first Veiled Prophet the chief of police, and his name was John Priest, and that rhymes, and it's inescapable. But his job was to show everybody that the rule of law was going to govern the city and not the workers' collective council. The general strike was a multiracial strike. It was very scary to a lot of the city elites.
Yeah.
And so they needed to create a ritual to remember their victory over it.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. So the subtitle here, Secret Societies, White Supremacy, and the Struggle for St. Louis. Strong language. You want to dig into that a little bit?
Sure, yeah. The Secret Societies, it is a book that is about how they work both sociologically, psychologically, but also how the Veiled Prophet Society was able to skate through so much history and persist to today. White supremacy, because this is a character who's based on a Klansman, and the Klan sort of had to reconstruct whiteness after the Civil War and had to reimpose plantation violence. And so all of that stems from, the wounds in the Civil War that we failed to address. And it has persisted in Veiled Prophet history all through the decades. In the struggle for St. Louis, we begin with the general strike, we end with the Black Lives Matter movement. And it is still a struggle in the city to change and to progress and to get rid of things that aren't serving us anymore.
Sure, but the Veiled Prophet exists in some form or fashion today, correct? In the VP St. Louis, or what do we know about that?
It's a little hard to tell because a couple years ago, as NPR reported on, the publicity guys for the society came out and said that VP doesn't stand for anything anymore, and that they changed the name of the guy to the Grand Oracle. But he still looks the same, and Grand Oracle has always been a moniker for the Veiled Prophet. And so they said that they changed it and got rid of him, but they didn't really change it or get rid of him.
Okay, so there's so much to dig into. And you're on book tour this week, right? So we're
on
almost
book
at his
tour.
time, but yeah, book tour.
Book tour, going to New York, Baltimore, Philly, kind of come back to St. Louis and have a big Left Bank Books thing tomorrow at the Central Library, Leviathan Books. I'm going to talk to Jacques Germain, a very good fellow journalist here. It's going to be great.
It's going to be great. Good luck and congratulations, because
you
this
very
is
much.
like a baby. I know when you write a book, you put it out in the world. It is your baby.
It's my thick boy.
Yeah, it's your big boy. It's a good, solid big boy.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
And
Thank you for
again,
having me.
Congratulations.
Thank you.